Hello my lovely YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. You'll have to excuse my voice, you can probably tell I don't sound that great. I was sneezing all day yesterday, and then by the night time I knew a proper cold had started. Now it's been a few years since I've had a cold. I think having lots of children and working in childcare gave me a lot of immunity, but this year it hasn't worked and I've got a cold. I'm not sick, I've just got a cold, so I feel rotten and I sound rotten, and my nose goes from being completely blocked to dripping like a tap. It's just crazy. But I have so much I want to tell you and show you, so I wanted to come on today, and I've broken one of my rules, which is that I'm not allowed to make a video until I've answered all the comments on my last video, and I haven't answered them, and I feel awful. I've read them, I love them, I've read them all, but I haven't had time to answer. So I'm breaking my own rule, which is making a video in advance of answering and replying to all your comments. I'm really sorry, but I will definitely get to it as soon as I can. Just always know that I've read what you've written and love what you've written, and I will reply as soon as possible. I promise that. So let me tell you, where do I start? Do I start with what you're looking at? I don't know. I think I will. And then I'll tell you where I've been, because that's very exciting. And where I'm going is exciting too. So let me tell you about where I've been. And let me just move this back a tiny bit so you can see that there's an edge to that. Actually, I've got little Rosie Primrose here. And I've set her up on a tray. And she's sitting on the back of her favourite pig, who is called Pork Chop. So she's going for a little ride. But to me, she looks slightly worried. I don't know what you think, but she does look a little bit worried to me. Hopefully she'll be alright. But she's got those wings, so if she did fall, she could flap a bit hard and then she wouldn't hurt herself, would she? So she's sitting on her friend Pork Chop. You've seen him before. And I've been collecting a few things that live with her. So I'll show you them one by one, shall I? I'll start here because this is a beautiful little pumpkin fairy, I think you would call it. Now let's see if we can make... Can you see that little gorgeous little naked pumpkin fairy? It's got like maybe cabbage leaf hat and green wings, and it's folded over on her tummy, or his tummy, resting his little face, I'll show you the little face, in his hands, and he's on top of a big pumpkin, and there's a little pumpkin with them as well. So that's the first of her friends, of Rosie Primrose's friends. I'll put that back and show you what else Rosie Primrose has. She has a little light, because every fairy needs a bit of a garden light, so that's a very sweet light. It's made to look like a flower, I think you would say, or maybe a tulip. I'm not sure what kind of flower that would be, and it's on the light pole is looking like a stem, and there are green leaves at the bottom and a couple of rocks too. So that's her light. That's when it's dark night time. She can turn that on. And then I've got this cute little bunny, and he's just eaten his way out of a cabbage. You can see all the leaves there, cabbage leaves. There's his ears, they're lying flat. So there he is. He's eaten a big hole in the cabbage, and he's got his body in the hole, and only his head and ears and front paws are peeking out. So he is a friend of Rosie Primrose's as well. I hope you can see that clearly. The camera's doing stupid things. Of course it is. Why would it do what I wanted it to? Anyway, so that's the cute little bunny. And then I've just got a couple of these. I don't know if you probably know what these things are. They're gum nuts. And they come from my West Australian flowering gum. And I just grabbed a couple that didn't have ants on them and that were okay. And I just put them there. And then we have this mushroom man. Have a look at this guy. Isn't he beautiful? He's a red mushroom, and he's got a little yellow and black butterfly that's landed on the top of his mushroom. And then he's got a big face, and his hands are clapping. They're spread out wide. And he's got some little flowers around the base of him, and some greenery and rocks. So that's her mushroom man. And then I've just added a couple of things that I had anyway, just this little basket of what am I thinking? Poppies, maybe. See that beautiful little basket? It actually comes with a beautiful doll, but I asked her if we could borrow the basket so that little Rosie Primrose could have it with her. And then I also, just from something that I had, or have, just these little, sweet little 6 teddy bears. They're tiny. I keep them in this box. There. Tiny little things. They're jointed 5 ways, which is amazing. There's pink, cream, light blue, and then, I just moved them all. Then there's a yellow one, and a darker blue one, and a lighter pink. I'll tidy them up afterwards. Aren't they sweet? There they are. Hopefully you can see them a little bit. I should have held the box better, shouldn't I? No, they're a bit scattered, but I can fix them easily. So that is how my little Rosie Primrose is spending her day. She's riding on the back of Pork Chop, and she's got all her friends around her. And I can tell you about what she's wearing, because that's new. It's a little white romper, and it's got bumblebees on it, and 4-leaf clovers, and it's trimmed in yellow around the neck and across the bodice. It's got puffed sleeves, and it's a bubble romper, and it fits her beautifully. It came with the little golden headband that you can see she's wearing as well. There's a little bow on that, and it fits her perfectly. When I bought that, I also bought, from the same seller on Etsy, I bought this beautiful all-in-one, which is, I'll show you. I'll come from this side. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Sorry, let me go right back, see if that helps, so you can get an idea of the whole of it. Not great. Not great. Anyway, it's an all-in-one, and I just want you to see the beautiful embroidery that the maker put on it. You see that little tiny white bunny? And next to it are 3 flowers on either side. Tiny, tiny embroidery. And the whole all-in-one is made in a pale blue. It's a very soft kind of, almost a brushed type fabric. And it's got little feet in with elastic around the ankles, so it fits her really well. And long sleeves, and it just does up with 2 tiny, there are actually 2 tiny press studs at the back. And I didn't tell you, but her bubble romper also has 2 press studs at the back. So I bought those 2 things from a seller on Etsy. And then I bought her this little knitted dress, which I haven't tried on her. Hopefully it fits her. It's meant for her size. It's a little white knitted dress in a beautiful pattern. See that? There it is. Isn't that sweet? So the skirt part of the dress is knitted in a beautiful pattern, and so are the sleeves, and then the bodice is just in plain pearl knitting. And there's a white ribbon around the bodice, and it came with a little bonnet, which I think will fit her. Let me show you the bonnet. There's the tiny. It looks big there, doesn't it, compared to her, but really it shrinks in size as it gets closer to her. So I think that will be just right on her. I'll dress her in that perhaps next time. Where are we? This is quite tricky, isn't it? There we are. No, there it is. Okay. Dodgy brothers. Anyway, that's the bonnet that goes with the little dress, and also there are 2 booties. I've just dropped one, but here's a tiny bootie. Tiny, weeny little thing. Hopefully it will shrink in size as I get closer to Rosie Primrose. There we go. I think that will fit her very well. So that's a little haul for her, and I was just desperate to show you because I'm so happy with all these tiny things, and so happy with my little Rosie Primrose on her pork chop friend. So, okay, well, I've told you about that, so now I can settle down and tell you about my wonderful, it was a wonderful morning, but tinged with a bit of sadness, which I'll tell you about as well. This morning I went to pick up, now I've forgotten how I described Lynn. She is my son's mother-in-law. So I don't think I think I did invent some easier way to say that. I just can't remember what it was. Anyway, so I went to pick up Lynn early this morning. Oh, it's Sunday, by the way. So I'm so sorry. I forgot the most important thing. It's Sunday. It's beautiful, sunny, so warm in the sun, but still a lovely, cool sort of day. Light breeze blowing. Apparently there's meant to be some rain coming later, which would be very nice. I I am tissueless. Hang on 1 second. Can't be without a tissue at the moment. Whoa. Sorry everybody, I had to go and get a tissue. Sorry about that delay. So yeah, the weather is gorgeous and it's about 1:45, I think. Yes, it is, and I just got home from a very big adventure and I'm about to go out for another one. So I thought I'd try and squeeze this video in between. So this morning I picked up Lynn and we went over to my son and her daughter's house. They're the parents of Oscar, who I talk about sometimes, and his sister, because we were going to see an art exhibition that Oscar had a piece of work displayed in. It was children were asked to produce some artwork to signify what was it called? Threatened Species Day. Phew, I'm glad I remembered that. Yeah, Threatened Species Day. So, and Oscar's painting actually won in his age category. It's just magnificent. So we went to see the exhibition this morning. It was in the city, so it was a big adventure and it was wonderful. We had ice cream afterwards and I had a double scoop of chocolate. Well, 1 scoop of chocolate that was huge and 1 scoop of caramel, which was not quite as huge, so that's why I called it a double scoop of chocolate. It wasn't really. It felt like it, and it was delicious. Absolutely famous ice cream shop in the city that we went to. We had to wait for 12 minutes for it to open, so that was lovely. We just stood and talked while we were waiting, and by the time they opened there were lots and lots of people waiting and a big queue had formed, so we were lucky we were at the front of the queue. So yeah, we had ice cream and now what was I going to say? Oh, Oscar's artwork. I got distracted with ice cream because I love ice cream. I'm shocking. Just love it. I try not to have it very often because I can't stop. So I have to have a limited amount. Although I must admit the 2 scoops today really filled me up. I couldn't have eaten more. Anyway, so yeah, Oscar's artwork won first prize in his category. I'll attach a picture at the end of this video, so make sure you keep watching for it. It's just the most beautiful piece of art. I just can't believe an 11-year-old did it. It's really incredible. I hope that you'll like to see it. So that's what I did this morning, and then I've just come home. Oh, I'll tell you the sad news too, yes. While we were at my son and daughter-in-law's, as soon as we got there, there was a bit of, well, you wouldn't call it drama, but there was an awful thing happening in that. Do you remember about their bunny that they have called Falafels? He wasn't well. He was a bit quiet yesterday and he hasn't eaten. And they were very worried because his tummy was a bit bulgy. And so they think maybe he ate something he shouldn't. And that is not a good thing for a bunny to do. So my daughter-in-law took him and the children to the vet, and the vet said, well, we're not an expert in rabbits, we're more dog and cat people, but you need to go to the specialist vet. So she brought the children back home so that we could go to the exhibition. And it's not good news for Falafels. He doesn't have a temperature, but he has a blockage inside him. They couldn't do an x-ray today because no one was there to do the x-ray on a Sunday. So they're going to keep him there overnight and x-ray him in the morning, and then my son and daughter-in-law will just have to decide whether to risk surgery, which apparently is very risky on a rabbit. And but we haven't seen an x-ray, or there's no way to make a decision at this stage. They'll decide what to do tomorrow, but the children were just so upset, so just crying and crying. It just broke my heart. It was, oh my goodness. The downside of pet ownership is that you love them so much. You just can't bear them to be suffering. So that was a bit sad. So we did lots of distracting, with the beautiful artwork and the ice creams and things like that. So Falafels is going to stay overnight at the vet to be assessed tomorrow morning. I'll give you an update in my next video about that. So that was a bit sad. And then and I've just come home from the city. So that was fabulous. This afternoon I am going off to my other son's, Oh, I nearly got through the video, but anyway, a little cough. Going to my other son's house with his wife and 2 children, so that will be nice, and I'm staying for dinner in the night time there. So it's a big, busy day from one to the next, and in between I might just try and fit in a bit of lunch. Not that I need much after that ice cream, but I have to take some magnesium tablets, and you need to eat food, so I can just have a little bit of something with the magnesium tablets, and then I'll be all set. So I think, let me just stop for a minute and think if there's anything else I needed to tell you today. I think that's probably all of it. Just remember to keep watching for the picture of Oscar's beautiful artwork, and I hope you'll like it. A lot of the artworks were just of an animal that is threatened, but Oscar put it into a scene, and you'll see all the detail. You can pause my video and have a good look and see everything that he thought about with that painting. It's beautiful. So I think I might stop here now, and I'll add that picture at the end, so keep an eye out for that if you'd like to see it. And thank you very much for coming back to see my little Rosie Primrose on her friend Pork Chop. And I think my next video, I'm going to dress Lottie in navy blue, because our friend Susan KJ88 was talking about loving navy, and I love it too. So I'm going to put Lottie in a navy dress that I haven't ever put on her before, because I've had it for a long, long, long time, and I had to dig it out of the cupboard. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. So that will be my next video, I should think. Let me give you an update on Gertie, because poor Gertie is still quite bald. I haven't even started the hair. I've chosen the hair I'm going to use, but I haven't started. I just haven't had a chance. Maybe, hopefully next week, starting tomorrow, but I do have an appointment tomorrow at the eye specialist. So anyway, we'll see how long everything takes, and hopefully Gertie will start getting some hair very soon, and then I can show him to you, or her. We'll have to see what happens with the hair, because that often changes things. So that's really all I have for now. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming to visit me. We're not in the kitchen, by the way. I'm set up on my oil heater, which isn't on, and I've got a tray that I put everything onto. It's a basket of fruit, picture of a basket of fruit on the tray. I thought that would look nice rather than the top of the heater. Anyway, there we are, and I really will go now. Thank you everyone for visiting, and thank you for your lovely comments, which I will reply to on my last video, and I'll see you all soon. In the meantime, please take care everyone, and be kind to each other. Bye bye.